Hello everyone and welcome to today's flow. We are going to be doing a gentle Hatha sequence, generally working all of the body today. No specific focus, but just a gentle flow that you may wish to do perhaps at the beginning of your day to wake the body up, or perhaps the end of the day to wind down. We're going to start with some deep breathing, and so pose we're going to come into is hero pose. Now, this is a pose that does work into the inner thighs, and it does also work into the knees. Now, because we haven't yet warmed up, I do suggest that you grab yourself a bolster, a cushion, a couple of cushions will be absolutely fine, or a block to sit on, just so that it keeps the hips lifted and so that it doesn't work too much into the joints, because as I say, we are not fully warm yet. So what we're going to do is just place that bolster or cushion in between your legs and just come and sit yourself down. Just allow the feet to sit on the inner side of the foot, and just allow the internal rotation of the thighs. And you shouldn't feel much pressure through the knee joint here. Now, if you do, I will say or suggest for you to come and sit perhaps in Baddha Konasana, or you could sit with your legs bent. But what we're wanting to achieve is a really long length spine, so lifting up from that crown of the head and ensuring that we are able to take deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And by breathing in through the nose, we are able to fully reach full capacity of our breath, or should I say, we find it's easier to get to full capacity. And as we breathe out, we're going to really let go of the exhale breath. And as you just begin to center yourself here on your mat, just start to become aware of any space that you have within the body. Begin to notice how the body's feeling. Are you holding on to any tension, any stress, or anxiety? Perhaps you wish to add a count to your breath, perhaps counting to 4, 6, or 8. And as you are breathing in, really feel the air expand into the stomach. Really letting go. And just very slowly start to open your eyes. Taking your gaze forwards, just still not moving any part of the body, keeping the chin parallel to the floor. And just tuning into the surroundings, any noises you can hear. Again, just centering yourself and grounding so that you are ready for your practice today. So let's start to remove this bolster, whatever it is that you're using, from underneath you, and come into a tabletop position. So making sure that your knees are underneath your hips, your wrists are underneath your shoulders, tops of the feet are gently pressing into the mat. Drawing the navel in slightly, just to ensure that we are keeping as much of a straight spine as possible. We're going to start to push into the mat and round through the spine, coming into your cow pose. separating the shoulder blades. Taking that deep breath in, and as you breathe out, coming into cow, looking forwards, ensuring releasing tension. You're not taking the head back. Your neck is in line. And then come back into cow again. Take a deep breath in. Breathing out, coming into cow. Let's go again, rounding the spine. And working into cow. Now you might find one pose is easier than the other, or you might wish you're finding that stretch a little bit more in your cat pose, and perhaps you wish to hold that. Just let your breath guide you into your stretches as we just begin to oscillate through the spine. And then we're slowly going to tuck those toes under. Start to hover the knees, and then slowly send those hips all the way back. Lengthen out through the spine. Allow the neck and the head to relax. Knees are bent and soft, and those heels are lifting off the mat. This moment, we're just working into the back, lengthening through, really pushing and activating through those hands. And then very slowly, we're going to walk those hands back. Coming into a forward fold, Uttanasana. Feet are hip distance apart, sending those hips up towards the sky. You can soften those knees as well if you would like. Perhaps just moving a little bit from side to side, letting go. And then we place our left hand onto the mat, or you can use a block if you prefer. Keeping those knees bent as well if you need to. Just start to open out through the chest. So send your right arm all the way up. Double check as well that you're not twisting through those hips, so your knees are still in line. Just taking that right arm up towards the sky. Gradually bring that right hand all the way down. Plant it into the mat. And then we go on the other side. Sending that left arm up. Double checking those knees again. And then slowly bringing the hands down. Let's come up to our halfway lift. So fingertips come to the shins. Gazing forwards. You can keep your fingertips onto the mat. Just keeping that spine long. Whatever feels right. And then slowly pushing into the mat, rolling all the way up. Inhale, we stretch up and bring the hands back to heart center. Finding your balance here. Tuning into your breath. Centering yourself, grounding through those feet. Let's start to lift the arms up, taking a deep breath in. And breathe out, hinging forwards. Coming all the way back down. Start to soften the knees. Walk the hands back out and come into your tabletop position. So we start to take the left leg back. Keeping that spine long. Start to lift the leg. And then we can also extend your right arm as well. Using your core. Start to take your gaze forwards. Bend your left leg. And then you can slowly take your right arm back and see if you can grab hold of your left foot. Push into the hand with the foot. Maintaining that balance, and then release the left leg back. Take your right arm forwards. Use your core to slowly bring the right arm down and the left foot, and bring your knee back. Double check your alignment again. We start to send the right leg back. We start to lift the right leg. You can stay here, or you can slowly start to take your left arm forwards. You can bend that right leg. Take your left arm all the way around. Grab hold of the foot. Not really lifting up from the hip, so we are just pushing into the hand with the foot, creating a little bit of resistance. And then slowly release the right foot. Bring your left hand forwards. And then slowly bring the foot and the arm down. Bring the knee back in. Just twisting a little bit from side to side. And then we're slowly going to come back into our downward facing dog. So tuck those toes under. Breathe out, send those hips all the way back and pedal through the back of the legs. We gradually start to walk the feet in towards the hands. See how far you can go by just coming up onto the tiptoes. And then planting the heels back down. Softening the knees if you need to. And then gradually pushing into the mat, rolling all the way up. Inhale, we lift. Bring the hands back to heart center. So we're now going to start to come into a twist. We're going to be twisting through the upper body. So we're going to try and keep our hips center. All we're going to do is take our right arm back and our left arm forwards. Inhale, lifting up the arms. And exhale, twisting the other way. Again, making sure that hips are facing forwards and we're just twisting through this upper body. You can also look towards the left hand if you want to. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lifting up again. And exhale, twist. Lifting the arms up, deep breath in. Breathe out, hinging forwards, coming all the way down. Be careful not to touch anything or hit anything on your way down. Let's come up to a halfway lift. Deep breath in. Send the hips back. Lengthen out through the spine. Soften the knees. Plant the hands down. We step back slowly into our plank pose. Coming into a high plank. We then can drop the knees. Untuck the toes. Chaturanga. Lower all the way down. Keeping the elbows in. Soften down to your mat. And then we gently push into the earth as we lift the upper body. Opening out that chest, feeling expansion through the lungs, through the heart. And again, not taking the head all the way back. We just want to keep chin parallel to the floor, but your gaze can go slightly up. We then gradually push through, hands and knees, tuck the toes under. We send those hips all the way back. Breathing out. Pedaling through the knees one at a time. Gently working into the hamstrings. And we then slowly come back into a high plank. So ripple through the body, come through your high plank. Drop down to the knees, untuck the toes, chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, push back. Inhale, coming forwards again, rounding that spine. Dropping down to the knees, untuck the toes, chaturanga. Inhale up. You may need to adjust your hands if you're finding your hands are creeping backwards. Slowly send those hips all the way back again. Breathing out. We're going to lift that right leg. Send it up towards the sky. Draw the right knee in, round through that spine, and bring the knee in towards the nose. Hover for a moment here, feeling strong, and then slowly send your right leg back. Breathing out. Leg does not have to go very high. You can keep it quite low if you prefer. We're going to go again, bringing that knee in towards the chest. Rounding through the spine, pushing through the mat. Bring your nose to your knee. Gaze forwards. Look to where you're going to place your foot and then step the foot through or in between the hands. Keeping that spine nice and long. Pushing that back heel away. We're going to push into the front foot. Swing the arms forwards. Take it into your high lunge. Really grounding through that front foot again. We're then going to come into a twist. breathing out, arms out either side. So like we did earlier, but this time in our high lunge. So really focusing on your core. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down. We're sending your right foot all the way back into downward facing dog, ready to go on the other side. Inhale, lifting the left leg. And then draw that left knee in, round through the spine, come up onto the toes. Push into the mat, really creating space. Bring the nose towards the knee. And then slowly breathe out, sending the leg back. Inhale, bringing that knee in again. Breathe out. Nose to knee. And then look to where you're going to place that foot. Step the foot through. Lengthen out through the spine, pushing that back heel away. Swing the arms forwards. Inhale, rise. Exhale, we twist. We're then slowly coming back when you're ready. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bring the hands down. Lengthening the spine, we step the right foot in. Take it slowly. Plant the foot down. And then slowly roll all the way up. Deep breath in. Bring the hands to heart center. And so from here, we're going to lift the arms up. Deep breath in. Exhale, hinge forwards. Arriving into your Uttanasana, forward fold. Let's come up to our halfway lift again. So the fingertips to the mat or to the shins, just pushing your glutes back. And then slowly plant the hands down. Step your right foot all the way back. Anjaneyasana, placing your right hand on the inside of that left foot and gently peeling up with that right arm. We can then drop all the way down. And then we can grab hold of that foot with the left arm if you would like to. Feeling that stretch into the quads. Releasing the foot down, lifting up, planting your left hand all the way down, stepping forwards into our Uttanasana. Gradually bringing that right foot back in. Inhale to halfway. Exhale, soften down. This time it's the left foot back. Plant your left hand on the inside of the right foot. Peel all the way up with that right arm. Looking up towards that hand. You can always drop to your knee if you would like to. Soften down. Gazing towards that left foot. Bringing the knee in and the foot in if you would like to. And then releasing the foot from the hand. Lifting that back knee. Planting your right hand down. Gazing forwards and step your left foot in. Nice and slowly. Planting the foot down. We come up to our halfway lift again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, planting the hands back down. Sending your right foot all the way back. This time slowly placing it onto the mat. Gazing forwards, we take it into a rise. Ooh, finding that balance as you lift up. Centering yourself. Let's bring the arms around behind us. Interlace those fingers. Open out your chest and your heart, gazing up towards the sky. Again, not taking the head all the way back. Release the hands down. Framing your right foot. Stepping your right foot back in. Coming back to our Uttanasana. And every time we arrive in Uttanasana, see if you can soften a little bit more into your forward fold. Inhale to halfway. And planting the hands back down. Slowly taking your left leg all the way back. Planting it down. Finding that length through the spine. Inhale, push through that right foot. Lifting up to high lunge. Bringing the arms around behind you. Open out the chest. And then release releasing the hands back down. We're going to bring your left foot all the way back, your right foot all the way back, coming into your side plank. Lengthening up. Now you can come down to your knee if you prefer, or you can take your right foot in front of you, which you may be able to see there. Sorry, I'm facing the wall at this time, so let me just spin round. So staying wherever you are, you can bring that foot forwards if you prefer. So, lifting up into your plank, gazing up towards that right hand. And then bringing the right hand down. Setting the hips back into downward facing dog. Breathing out, lengthening that spine. Coming forwards into a high plank. And then opening out the other way. Sending your left arm all the way up. Engaging that core, looking up towards that left hand. And then slowly coming back down. Pushing back to downward facing dog. And then walking your feet back in towards your hands. Taking it as slow as you would like. Making sure your feet are hip distance apart. And then again, grounding through those feet. Engage the core as you roll up. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bring the hands to your heart center. We're going to lift the right leg. And then we're going to cross the right leg over so that the foot is resting on the thigh. And this figure of four pose. We can soften that left knee and rest here. Either hands to the heart center. You could also take them all the way up towards the sky. Sending those hips back. Or, if you prefer, you could come down into your forward fold. Adjust the foot if you need to. And then wherever you are, we're going to slowly come down. So use a block. Let me show you with this block here. So if you're using your block, gradually start to bend your left knee. Coming all the way down. And releasing to the floor. Release the legs. And come into Navasana, boat pose. Engaging your core, looking forwards. Cross the legs. Plant the hands down and then send those hips all the way back and up. So we're now crossing our legs in this forward fold. Now I'd like you to notice which leg is in front, because I didn't give any guidance as to which one you're going to place in front of the other. This is because it's more likely to be your habitual way. The one that you normally choose. You can soften those knees. Remember, if you find something that makes it a bit easier for you, that's perhaps not as intense, I invite you to pursue that and continue with whatever helps you here. So we slowly start to roll up. Inhale, lift, keeping those legs crossed. Deep breath in. Bring the hands to your heart center. We're then going to take the weight into that right leg. So uncross the legs. Finding your balance again, grounding through your right leg. We lift the left. And we cross the leg over. We lift the arms up. Finding that balance. You can then start to soften that right leg. Resting here. You could bring the hands, as I said before, down to the mat. Keeping that knee bent, or you can straighten the leg. Or you can use your block, whatever you prefer. And then from here, we're going to slowly bend that right knee. Uncross the legs if you need to. Coming all the way down, placing the hands behind you, softening gently down to your mat. Untuck the legs and then coming back into your boat pose. If you wish to extend the legs, you can, whatever it feels right. And then you're going to cross the legs in front now, remembering it's the opposite leg this time. And then slowly come all the way up, pushing up into your forward fold. Remembering you can soften those knees if you need to. And then slowly rolling up, deep breath in. Inhale, lift the arms up. Bringing the hands back to heart center. Untuck the legs. Give the legs a bit of a shake. Perfect. Let's lift those arms up again. As we slowly come all the way down to the mat, hinging forwards from the hips. Arriving in your Uttanasana, soften the knees, come onto the balls of the feet. Lengthen out through the spine. And then you can take the arms up towards the sky if you would like to, or you could bring the hands to heart center. Finding that balance, keeping fingertips to the ground if you need to. And then take the hands behind you, come and sit yourself down, coming into Baddha Konasana, our butterfly pose. So sitting up tall. If you wish to create that anterior tilt through the pelvis a little bit more, you can sit yourself on a block or a bolster, a cushion. We slowly hinge forwards from the hips, breathing out. Now you want to be leading with the chest, so you don't want to be here. Quite often I see people here in this pose, and if you look at my spine, it is very rounding. And if my spine is in this position, I'm going to struggle to take in deep breaths. So instead, sit up nice and tall. Bring those knees up slightly if you need to, perhaps bringing the feet a little bit further away. Always resting something underneath the knees if you need to. And then hinge forward so that you are leading from that chest. You might prefer to take your hands forwards. It's entirely up to you. Tuning into your breath. You may wish to close the eyes for a moment. And then slowly bring those hands in, gradually bringing those knees up. And come and lie yourself down. You may wish to take the arms forwards and slowly lower yourself. Or perhaps you wish to go straight down, which is absolutely fine. And then taking the arms above the head, lengthening the legs. You can interlace those fingers, come into a full stretch. Releasing the arms back down by your side. And then we're going to draw the right knee in. You can take the hands around by the shin if you would like to. Just gradually work into that hip. We're going to come into a little twist by bringing that right knee across the body. Now you can rest the right knee on another bolster or any other support here if you need to. Or you can start to bring it all the way down to the floor. Taking your gaze to your right shoulder. And then slowly coming back to center, we go onto the other side. So allow the right knee to come down, draw the left knee in. Hug it in towards the chest and then slowly bring it across your body. Allowing it to drop onto a cushion or support, or bringing it completely to the earth. And then gradually coming all the way back to lie on your mat, feeling centered and grounded here. Take the legs a little bit wide. Allow the feet to drop out to the side. Allow the palms to face up towards the sky. Softening. Tuning into your breath and becoming aware of surroundings within the room. Perhaps getting yourself a little bit more comfortable. And then draw your attention now to yourself. Notice how you are feeling. Notice if you feel any change within the body. Noticing the rise and the fall of the breath. And allowing yourself just to rest here for a moment. So just slowly starting to bring an awareness back into the body. Noticing the sensations that perhaps arise when you just move your fingers and toes. You may wish to stay here for a little bit longer. It's entirely up to you. But I will now leave you and look forward to seeing you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening. Namaste.